Welcome to Loud and Nerdy on a Tuesday night. My name is JW Colwell. I'm joined by one of my co-hosts, Kyle Defina. I don't know where the other one is. Hello, Gabe. How are you doing tonight, buddy? I don't know where Jerry is, but we'll see.
I hope he's okay.
I mean, man, I just got to assume he might be having tech problems or computer issues or something. Anyway. Welcome to Loud and Nerdy on a Tuesday night. My name is JW Colwell. What to talk about first, Kyle? What would you like to talk about first? Which box office disaster do you want to talk about first? Let's talk about the one that's not getting any press. Let's talk about this.
Hope you're feeling better, JW.
Oh, no, but that's okay.
Huh?
It was a combination last night, a confluence of things that canceled Generation movie last night. I was sick, and Natasha was also sick. He's out with Ben making ice cream, possibly. You never know what they do up in Moscow, Pennsylvania, where he lives. Let's take a comment down. Let's do this really quick. Hi, Boyd. Who's Boyd? Feel like it's somebody I don't know. Let's talk about this movie called The Alto Nights. Yeah, there was a disaster at the box office this weekend, and I'm going to tell you right now, Disney is thanking their lucky stars that this movie exists. This is a Robert De Niro movie that came out over the weekend. He plays dueling roles. It's a Barry Levinson film, so Barry Levinson, pretty good director. Avalon,
I had no clue this movie came out until I saw the poster in the theater, though. There was no advertising for
it. So this is a Warner Brothers movie, so it's the Zaslav has struck again. It made $3.2 million at the box office this weekend, one of the worst starts for a major studio release in the history of tracking. It also cost $45 million to make. So it's one of the year's biggest bombs. And it's a monster movie.
Table Degenerates. I was a service.
What was that?
The comment up right now. I was in the service with a guy in that movie. He's only extra, but still cool. That is pretty cool.
Thank you, Square Table Degenerates. Welcome to the show. Just realized that's STD. Anyway, so this movie came out. This movie bombed. Moscow, PA. Yes.
There is a Moscow, PA.
There is a Moscow, PA. Yes. So this movie came out and didn't do well, and it had pretty good pedigree. Barry Levinson, very good director. De Niro playing dueling mobsters. 37% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it didn't do well with the critics. And then the people who did check it out gave it a B cinema score exit poll grade, which is not great. But it's basically, the guy who directed Rayman, the guy who directed Wag the Dog. It's adapted from a Nicholas Pileggi book, who also wrote Casino, Goodfellas, and The Irishman. And it's Frank Costello and Vito Genovese. Basically childhood friends that became two of New York's most notorious organized crime bosses. And the idea that this movie just up tanked $45 million on this movie is astounding. Hi from Liz, Timmy, and me listening via the car. Okay, hi. Thanks. We appreciate you listening via the car, anywhere. Or if you want to, make sure you like us, subscribe on the YouTube channel, Indie Escape Network, Facebook page, which is also there, and Instagram. Also, we're now doing clips, so YouTube and Instagram are where the clips are going to be, I think, for the most part. So that movie bombed. That's an original movie, by the way. Bomb.
With no advertising again.
I guess we're going to blame it on advertising. I guess it's just not the kind of movie that makes it in theaters. And so once they see they have a movie that's going to tank, there's no reason to put advertising behind it. Okay. That's, of course, not the big movie that bombed this weekend.
That's not the big bomb of the week.
That's not the big bomb of the week. Although I will say, and I have a theory on why this happened.
Gabe claims he saw ads. And
Gabe
does believe that clips work. Clips do work.
Clips work amazingly enough.
Yes.
You're gonna get into more fights anyway. So I have a theory. And we're gonna bring in Missy on this one as well. Although she did a 90-second review though that kind of gave it a good review. There she is. She's already here. This movie is not terrible. It's not woke. It's not good. It's the epitome of meh. It's the epitome of mid. It's the epitome of like, it's the anti-Cruella. It's everything you could not want in a Disney movie, and it just pours it on. Like Gal Gadot is terrible. Like not bad, terrible. Like miscast.
She needed to be a poster, and that was it.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
it's bad. I would say the original music doesn't hit at all. I wasn't humming anything. Like I went with somebody who was not expecting to go see this with me.
Came up short.
But you gave it a really good review.
Okay,
you said it was good.
Okay, you need to realize that my reviews do not include spoilers. So
I understand.
I'm very much on. Yeah, so where my downfalls with this movie, obviously there's one big, there it is right under my comments that Jerry doesn't know how to do. She's the look of what you wanted her to be. She should have been a poster and nothing else. She should not have sang, dance.
I'll give there's very few credit. First off, I don't hate the dwarves. I know the dwarves.
No, the dwarves. I mean, they're
getting a lot of hate. They are nightmare. Don't get me wrong, they're nightmare fuel, but I found them endearing after a while, and I thought the voices were pretty good. Zegler was great. She can carry a movie.
I'm gonna say things tonight that I kept out of my review out of respect. So there will be spoilers in some stuff I say tonight, but I'll do this. So if
I don't know that. Wait a second. I don't know if we want Jerry's wife saying Jerry's coming. Tech issues. I feel that's a little bit too much information.
The pill is going to kick in soon. The pill will start working soon. He took the red pill.
Technical issues seems like a very nice way for a wife to say things. Are you having technical issues? Anyway. Okay, so Missy, I'm gonna let you expand. I think the movie's it's so mid. It gets beyond mid. It becomes meh. It goes from being a mid movie to meh. And I have a theory on why some of the Disney movies are failing and some work.
Okay. And I'm gonna
you go first. Yeah. You go first. You're our guest.
So with this movie, I have to say that I feel it did what it needed to do for the generation it was speaking to. But for the generation that came before, it was meh. It was just, it did not suit our needs. It did not meet what we needed it to meet. There were so many holes in this movie. That's because I don't do spoilers in my review.
Yeah, but spoilers.
Now, if I did spoilers, you would really see how upset that I am.
Okay.
But I do make my.
When I saw your review, I was like,
spoilers.
I thought we were going to get no
music
fight
is
tonight.
Good. The Snow White, I'm sorry, I do love her. She is very good in this.
Really good. She's very good. She's good in everything she does.
She got casted in this film.
No, I don't feel bad for her, but
dirty. I feel Disney did her dirty. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna hold punches. She's an amazing actress and she deserved better.
She's very talented, and also she also needs to understand the concept of what it means to actually film and
professional mistakes too. Like if you look
that's fine.
There's outside, but I'm saying just the film in general. I do
she's
feel
very
like
talented.
Catch the
she's very good. She's not. You can't. People can rip. Right, people can rip her apart for all they want to do, but she is not responsible for this movie. That's
no. Absolutely.
The music
not.
is met. There's very few songs that, like,
but
aside from
vocally,
the one,
she did amazing. Vocally, she
she's
did
fine.
amazing.
I have no problem with that. I'll give you another spot where I'm gonna.
And Prince Charming in quotations. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean,
he did vocally amazing as well. His songs were like right on
they're
cue.
fine.
Vocally,
they have chemistry. They're fine. I've no.
And I like what the movie is jumbled. Story, the movie is
jumbled. It's like they put it into like they put it into AI, and they were like, let's make it like contemporary, but not. We don't want it not old fashioned. And
I'm
so
even
the
going
idea
further than that. I feel Disney panicked. I feel Disney saw Wicked come out, and they were like, "What's our answer to Wicked?" And they thought this was it, and they failed with the dance sequences and the music and everything. And the color tones.
There is not a single.
There was a time that she turned around as the evil queen, and I was like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, that's fine. It's just stuff falling.
No,
there is not a single moment where Wicked is afraid of this movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Disney
thought they
were scared. You misheard me.
No, I got
Disney
you.
Disney was scared, not WB. WB is like, yo, we're killing you in the
Universal,
and we're killing
it's Universal.
We're killing you in both aspects, though.
Yeah,
like
Universal.
They're killing it completely.
But what I would say is this is a good point. Why don't we still don't want the stupid dwarves are mining? That's one thing. There's a jumble.
Well, you got to remember when Snow White came out in the 40s, mining was a very prevalent job.
But what Raven's saying is in the movie there is some sort of illusion is that the dwarves have been mining
for magic.
For magic. Yeah, there's an illusion. But
I don't think Raven knows that because Raven hasn't seen this movie yet.
It doesn't matter. You got it right.
You out while you're driving.
It's okay. It's even more jumbled. It's like one of the things that works.
It never made sense why the magic is important in this movie, and that's part of my problem.
There is because there is no connection. See, there's no magic. There is not. Like the magic doesn't work, and then like it gets really jumbled. I'll tell you. So creepy.
He doesn't though, Raven. That's what I'm saying. What you don't get in this reenactment of this movie, they have a relationship. No, what you
it's not creepy. It's not creepy because they're established, right? They're established.
Ray, you and I gotta talk. Like I didn't give you all my spoilers.
The honors are over 7, but the critics tore it apart. I don't think it's bad, Gabe. I don't think it's a bad movie.
No.
It's just. It's not becoming
children. The kids were bored in the theater.
Well, I don't know about that.
I were like they were jumping off the walls.
I went to one of the early screenings on Thursday, and I didn't have any kids.
I
went to a 5 o'clock show, and there was nobody. I understand. What I'm gonna say also is it's very jumbled. There's a whole side plot involving, I think they're the actors that were originally supposed to play the dwarves, and they're turned into like a band of people that are working for the king or working in honor of the king.
Yeah,
it's like Robin Hoodish.
Nothing happens there.
That's stupid. There's a whole subplot
about the huntsman and Snow White going, I got something to tell you about your dad. Oh, what is it? But run, princess. No, run. And I'm sitting there.
I didn't tell you about my dad. And then
in the movie, and they never talk about what.
Oh, no, they do. No, they do. Gal Gadot just goes, "I killed him," and that's it.
Yeah, but there's no story. Like the evil queen. I feel like it's a deleted scene that's supposed to be there. I
don't think it's deleted. It's just a bad script. And that's where I think it's not that it's a bad movie. I think a lot of people would find it pleasant. It's pleasant.
But there's holes.
But it's not Swiss cheese. It's not great. And Gal Gadot is particularly
she's awful.
And but you gave it a good review.
Do you feel that they cast? No, I didn't give it a no.
You said it's great.
Me and Gina were saying that Gal Gadot was awful. That she would have been just better as a poster. Like I feel like they only casted her because she looked like the queen for half the movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like she's gorgeous. So I'm not taking away the fact that she's an absolutely visually appeasing female, but She can't
where
sing.
where I think the disconnect
Can't
is,
move. Like her movement was wrong. Like even as the queen, it was very,
I understand.
I just
I
did an
think
80s
she's
thing there.
horribly miscast. I think the interesting thing here is, and this is where the disconnect is, and this is the where I'm going to put it out there, my theory. So I think the older Disney live action movies fail because the movies that occurred in the late 80s, early 90s were so successful at setting a blueprint that they imprinted on our generation.
Yeah.
Right? So now when you have a live action Lion King or a live action Mufasa or a live action Lilo and Stitch.
Mustafa. I'm sorry, guys. I hated Aladdin, but I loved Mustafa.
No, that's fine. It's okay. Never had any desire to see any live action reboots, not even like the good ones.
I will.
Like Cinderella's really
really
great, and also
no, come on,
Beauty and the Beast is pretty damn good.
Brady, fuck you.
But anyway, I think there's a disconnect because they're not imprinted. So like they may have seen Snow White, but they only saw it on either a clamshell video that they watch with their family, or they watch it on Disney Plus or whatever. So there's no connection.
Yeah.
To go what a live action, live action Aladdin or live action Beauty and the Beast. People go, I want to see it live action. I want to see it live.
Let's be honest, though.
I would love for you to be honest. That otherwise you're lying to us all the time.
I feel that Snow White, for not just our generation, but also the generation before our generation, and we're a very outspoken generation. This was one of those things where I feel a lot of people can say, this is sacred, don't touch it. And then they touched it, and we gave the benefit of the doubt, and they failed miserably.
Well, I don't think anybody. First off, with Disney, I don't think anybody says anything to Disney where like you can't do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but it's
not their target audience. That is true, Joe.
Well, they do want a bunch of stoners that'll sit back and watch dwarves run around the screen.
Well, what I think that's the other thing.
Okay, Joe makes a good point. Joe makes a really good point on like Generation X.
Well, no, actually, we are not the target audience. That is true. That is absolutely true. And that is one of the things I've come with why my disconnect is becoming more apparent. So that is why.
But Gina didn't like it either.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think it's not for me, and I am at the point in my life, my movie-going life, where I can watch a movie, and go, "This isn't for me," and tear it apart, but still understand that somebody out there might like it.
See, I hold the tearing apart until other people have gotten a chance to see it and make an opinion. So that's why, like, my 1 minute reviews is not like when you and I talk about a movie, you and I are on a different level compared to my 1 minute review. Like,
I understand.
You and I are here, and then those reviews are here because those reviews are kind of they give me to bring people into the show. You know?
No. I think what's interesting. Lion the Witch and Road live action was so bad I never bothered with the next 3 or 4. I love the story as a kid, as well as the cartoon. Yeah, Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe.
So,
which one though? There were so many.
The first one's okay. The first one, I don't think I think Gabe's talking about
that one, the popular one from the 2000s. There was a live action prior to that one too.
There was a BBC
version, and theirs I love.
There was a BBC version that was like very extensive. It was like a mini series. I think, of course, he's talking about the live action.
Disney he's probably talking about the main.
Well, Gabe, if you didn't see any of them, you're going to get a chance. You're going to get it again. You're going to get a chance next year because Greta Gerwig's got one coming out. You might see a good line in What's in Wardrobe next year. I'm going to say I love your reviews. Tell me everything I need to know, either watch or not watch. I understand.
Thank you, Ashley.
So. Now, you said that the movies that came out in the 90s, JW, that they hit just a certain spot for us back then. And that would be basically late teens to early 20s.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
Now my comment to you is, are they redoing these in live action because animated is not holding that age range, and that's how they're trying to capture them now, is with the
no,
live action.
Okay, which brings
it's
me
a
to my
money stream.
next comment that I want to talk about.
It's a money stream.
Well-
They're basically taking movies that they feel are very popular and they're putting them into live action in an attempt to make money, and that's fine. Anybody can do that. Greta Gerwig is doing it. Raven, the director of Barbie, is that's her next project, and she has a guarantee in her contract from Netflix that the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe movie that she is making, all of the movies that she makes in the next few years around it, all get theatrical releases. So she is a rare Netflix director that has a guaranteed IMAX release next year.
So you would say that's a nuclear option for the Barbie out?
No, Greta Gerwig.
You missed it. Right over your head. Just go.
I'm sorry. I'll answer the question. Greta Gerwig can do whatever the fuck she wants. She has a $1 billion movie under her belt. She can do whatever she wants.
JW, why so serious?
Well, it's about movies. I'm always serious about movies.
There's a Harry Potter reference.
Oh, okay. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Right.
Just to connect what you were saying with the anime to live action. So, and I kind of want to throw this out to you guys. It was I like I said, I did see 5 movies this week. I only did 1 review because I didn't want to. Although I can watch 5 movies in a week, I didn't want to kind of like oversaturate it. So I did it with the one that was going to be the most relevant. But I did see the Day the Earth Blew Up as well this week, and something dawned on me, and it took me a few days to kind of digest that movie and check it out. And I was like, I felt like I was missing something throughout the movie, and then I realized, I'm like, you don't have the 3 Stooges without all 3
You're
Stooges.
missing Bugs Bunny? Is that where you're going?
I was really missing Bugs Bunny in this, and because you don't have Mickey without Goofy and Donald, you don't have Harry Potter without Hermione.
Have you not seen the Goofy movie?
I have, but
that is Goofy without Mickey
in that movie. He
has a kid, but it's not.
But
there's no other.
I think they missed the opportunity though to have cameos of other characters.
Cameo, something.
Well, first off, I haven't seen the Day the Earth Blew Up yet, just because.
Okay. So I won't.
You've got one up on me. I'm waiting to go with my nephew. Anyway, the other thing about it is this.
That's the only movie I saw this week.
It was fun, but I don't feel like you needed to see it in the theaters, and that comes a lot from me. I feel like this was almost like Bugs Bunny.
You got a Goofy movie to watch.
No, hold on. Let me circle back.
I'm pretty sure I've seen all
Raven
of them,
asking me if I never heard of the genre of adult animation. I have, Raven, but I'm asking do you think they're doing the live actions now to get those 15 to 20-year-olds? No, but I'm answering Raven's question here.
Yeah.
I've never heard I've heard of it, but that's not why I was asking. I don't question.
I don't think they're doing it. They're not doing it out of any kind of. It's a cash grab. It's a cash grab, but some of them are warranted. Like Snow White, remaking Snow White is not necessarily something that needs to be done. I could see, once you put.
They did it though.
Once you put,
It came under a lot of issues in regards to, but it didn't answer the call. Their big reason for redoing Snow White was the answer.
What I'm saying is,
I
think
Prince
part of
didn't
it
have a relationship, and he kissed her while she was asleep.
Right. Part of
perfect.
the whole thing though is when you're doing the older movies like Dumbo or like Snow White or
Dumbo wasn't the same movie.
Dumbo was garbage. Dumbo was hot garbage too. And what I'm saying,
wasn't the same movie. And how do you?
But it was bad. It was a bad movie. What I'm saying is, when you're doing the classics, like the all-time Disney classics, you have to thread a certain needle, and they don't. I don't think they're dexterous.
Do you think they got?
Now.
How's your feeling? Is there one that? Because there is one for me that I feel they did right, and it's my all-time favorite movie ever. So for you, is there one that they did right that you're okay?
Yeah,
with?
the one that I jump up and I go, if you want to remake it and you want to actually try to adapt it and make it into something special, mine's Cruella.
Okay, so mine's Beauty and the Beast.
Well, Beauty and the Beast is fine, but Cruella for me is the creative.
But Cruella, isn't that
well done?
That's a prequel.
Yeah, but that's still, it's the same thing. You can't.
I was going to say Cruella, but if they only continued it already and came out with 101 Dalmatians to lead into it, because Cruella, it's not.
She's too busy an actress.
Yeah,
we get her once.
She's really popular now.
Yeah,
we were lucky to get her when we got her.
She's a multiple Oscar winner.
But that was also the other thing. If they did it in any other time, they wouldn't have had her as an actress, and it would have failed.
1 second. First, I will go to bat for Burton's Dumbo. Fuck you, JW. Second, no Snow White. Dumbo is awful. It's one of Tim Burton's worst movies. Everybody is awful in it. Everybody.
You and Raven are not going to agree on this, love. You just need to let it go.
Well, no, she can love Dumbo, but Dumbo's a pile of trash.
I think it was not the same. Like, to me, Dumbo wasn't a remake, because to me, Dumbo was a completely different story to the original Dumbo. Like, those two, like, you can't compare those. They're apples and oranges.
So Raven, I'm gonna fix this for you. They get around the whole kissing situation by telling the kid who's not actually Prince Charming that it's part of the spell. So they get around it.
She hasn't seen Snow White yet. Cut her a break.
I'm just letting her know.
She hasn't seen Snow White.
She has concerns about this. I'm just letting her know.
I will say
Dumbo is not great.
There is a great big differences in regards to that relationship. And I was like, because me and Gina was sitting there and we talk during movies. It's awful. I know we're the people you hate, but we're sitting there and she looked at me. She's like, is that supposed to be Prince Charming? I was like, yeah, I think so. Because it was a little confusing but I guess you can consider him Prince of Thieves. Robin Hood. No. Yeah.
No. Please.
Come on, go with it. Just go with it.
I can't go with it. It's not
that is literally what they were shooting for. And they did have a little person, a person of small stature, as one of.
I think all the people that are in the band are the people that were playing the dwarves. Is what I think before they became the anthropomorphic nightmare dwarves. Which again, I don't mind. It grossed 42 million at the box office. It cost $280 million to make and market.
Jasper, that's a wow. That's saying a lot, Jasper.
Big Fish is a good movie. I don't know where this.
I like Big Fish too, so I'm like, I feel like me and Jasper need to have some talks.
But I'd rather sit through any Burton movie that it.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
Yeah, well, Rob Zombie's as a director, he's a great singer. I guess. I don't know.
That's like
okay,
Missy. You said his name twice. One more time, and we're in trouble.
One more time, and he appears on my wall and ruins my.
Can we please ask what the fuck technical issues is Jerry having still at this point?
Yeah, Jerry, are you okay? Do we need to send out the red flags?
I feel bad for Jerry. Jerry hasn't sent me a movie either. Hold on.
Maybe Jerry, blink twice if you need help.
I don't know.
He's saying technical difficulty is coming. I can't get my computer on.
I have a movie for you from Jerry's basement.
The Breakfast Club.
It's all I got, guys. I'm sure. Wait, I might have more.
I'm not sure Jerry's watching The Breakfast Club in his basement.
Nobody's. Wow.
It's all I got. I'm sorry.
The Breakfast Club is problematic these days.
I don't have a DVD player in the office, so the fact that I even have a DVD here is saying a lot. Okay?
I think he threw the computer.
Oh no!
That's what Ashley's saying. I think he threw the computer.
Well,
I don't have any other movies. I'm sorry, guys. I have books. I have lots of books. So you want to see books? That's all I can offer you.
Okay, I got you, Raven. I understand the consent issue. I got you. Okay, Missy, where's your next show? When's your next show?
Well, I mean, I mostly do movies. So just a quick rundown of the movies I didn't review this week was obviously The Day the Earth Blew Up. I also got to see today, this week, Black Bag. So Black Bag, I'm not into that type of movie, but for folks that are into that type of movie, it was really good. So go check it out. Locked was fantastic. I really enjoyed that, but you got to realize it's literally an hour and a half of a guy locked in a car. So if you're not into that kind of thing, it wouldn't be your gig.
Nobody's. Yeah, it's one of those movies
did
where
see Novocaine,
pretty
probably
great.
my movie of the week, above Snow White. Novocaine, very bloody. If if
Lot of
gore
fun.
turns you off like it turns Kyle off, I wouldn't recommend it. There was actually
Hey,
another
gore
couple in there.
Wait, stop.
There was a
Gore-
couple in there that
Gore
the
turns
wife
Kyle
apologized
off?
to the husband. Yeah, Kyle can't do gore.
Kyle doesn't like gore?
No.
Really?
Yeah, if there's anything like nails pulling off, teeth coming out, eyes popping, skin being
You've been
no,
playing
he's not
playing
into the
Eddie
whole
forever.
torture thing.
That's all gore.
Yeah, no, he's not into that. Like
You get
like
killed in
he
the back,
will,
you get killed in
yeah,
the icebox.
he will. Mm.
Okay.
I'm okay with the gore, but but I'm saying that like it is very well placed gore. So go check it out.
Yeah, Novocaine's
It
great.
is probably
I like
for
Novocaine.
me the movie of the week is Novocaine.
Okay, well, thank you for coming on and defending your Snow White, or not
I
defending
didn't
it.
defend. I didn't know. I kind of think I opened up
I
a
know
little bit
you
more, but
completely went the other way.
well,
Because if you look at the
again,
review, first
with
words out of your mouth are pretty great.
the concept of the movie and what they did to project for this generation was pretty great. As far as the holes in the film, which I didn't want to talk to during, because you got to realize mine is no spoiler reviews, so I can't talk about the holes, and I can't give you terribly too much of her awful performance, but really she would have been better as a billboard. Sorry.
Well, yeah, but you can say somebody's awful without talking about their performance. You know, like,
yeah,
I think that's hard. That's got to be.
Did really
head and
accept, like,
shoulders.
if you go back and look at how me and Gina put it out, she is really, really bad. Like, she really
well,
should have just
I
been
was
a
expecting
poster.
a fight, and I'm glad you're on board with
No, yeah.
my exact review.
When
That
you and
it's
when we messaged, I told you, I said, I think you're gonna be surprised how much we agree.
Okay, well, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. Stay out of trouble.
Always.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh, I brought it back.
You give me power. I do things like that. You sit here and read comments and keep show moving along. Even though Jerry can't get his fucking computer working, and I think it just went across the
major computer fuckery here tonight. That's the direct quote. I also invited Paul on for his birthday, but Paul's probably not gonna come. Paul can't come.
Happy birthday, doesn't see.
Do you know why Paul can't come? Paul can't come because he keeps on doing the sky is falling Marvel thing, and then every year, every day he goes. Every year he gets thrown back.
It's his birthday. Be nice to him today. It's his birthday.
Nah.
Have you actually looked at the numbers for this week though at the box office?
Yeah, they're bleak.
42,000 for Snow White, or 42 million for Snow White. Then the second movie, Black Bag, 4 million.
4.2 million.
4.2.
So like
then Captain
10%.
America,
4 million.
Captain America
chugging along, gonna get to 200 million. Captain America is an interesting case because again, where everybody's talking bad about it. If it's gonna hit about $420 million by the time it ends up worldwide, which isn't great. But again, we are picking movies apart for only grossing $400 million. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Yeah, the other top movies, did you take a look?
Novocaine 3.6. Whoa. JW is now gone too. It is just my show, all me, all the time. But yeah, Novocaine came in number 4 at 3.6 million. Mickey 17, number 5, but didn't miss Novocaine by much. That was also 3.6. Was off by about 4,000 from Novocaine. And then the Alto Knights opened up at 6 with $3.1 million. Then a huge drop off to number 7 with The Day the Earth Blew Up at a 1.8, which The Day the Earth Blew Up was the only movie I did see this week.
Interesting thing about The Day the Earth Blew Up, Missy was talking about it. So The Day the Earth Blew Up was bought by this company named Ketchup Entertainment. For somebody come in. Somebody pop in? No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think she wants
Up
to
in this-
watch that way. I don't know.
This company called Ketchup Entertainment. What's interesting is that this company is becoming the company that goes in and buys movies that are kind of like lost. And this is their biggest acquisition yet. It's grossed 6.7 million. They didn't pay a whole lot for it because somehow, some way, Warner Brothers doesn't realize that Looney Tunes are important. So in the same week they sold off The Day the Earth Blew Up, they also took all of the
Scrubbed Max of all of Looney Tunes.
all Looney Tunes. Also, Ketchup Entertainment is currently in negotiations, and this is why yes, we like Ketchup Entertainment. We want to support them. They're currently in negotiations to get Coyote versus Acme, which everybody has talked about as being one of the great Looney Tunes movies, like live action, fun. Basically, it's a story about the coyote basically suing Acme for having terrible fucking products. Oh wow, you are
I'm on my phone. Just saying.
Obviously,
Ugh.
are you
now
okay?
Jerry
Yeah,
doing
look at
the
this.
Blair
Look.
Witch from his basement.
You see that?
What did
Yeah.
you do? What did
It's
you
called
do?
an
Jerry?
update.
What did you do, buddy? You
I
gotta
turned it
hear-
on and it was taking forever. I turned it off. I turned it back on, and that's what I get.
Mother.
But anyway.
You didn't send me a movie either, so I don't have anything. If you want to tell me, I will go.
Well,
You can just
let's finish off the Looney Tunes thing because someone's asking.
Yeah,
was there a
no.
whole
And then
cancel thing?
I have another. I want to talk with Jerry. I'm glad he's here because I have a question. No, the Animaniacs not so much, but what's happened with Looney Tunes at Warner Brothers is a crime. They basically scrubbed them off of Max. They're selling them off to the highest bidder, and the Coyote versus Acme movie. Apparently, this Ketchup Entertainment is buying the movie and going to release it. And so I'm saying yes, because everybody who's seen the Coyote versus Acme movie has said it is spectacularly funny. It's got John Cena, it's got Will Forte, it's got the Coyote, it's got the Roadrunner, it's got Acme representatives, I guess.
Now,
so
are they selling? Are they selling Looney Tunes off IP and everything?
No,
like, to someone else to own it.
no, they don't
selling off
feel
the rights to.
No, it's like Disney with the Muppets. They don't feel they're viable anymore. And part of the reason they're not viable is because you're scrubbing them from your fucking you're scrubbing them from your fucking streamer. Like you can't make Looney Tunes viable if I can't show my nephews Looney Tunes. If
Oh no, I just
Jerry-
wanted to know if there was a possibility that Disney could end up buying the Looney Tunes.
I can't see Zaslav being allowed to do that. I
They'll
can't
screw
see-
it up somehow.
I don't think Disney would screw. I don't know who buys the Looney Tunes. I think Looney Tunes are too expensive to buy because of all this. There's still stuff. You know what I mean? It's still like you still can buy Looney Tunes stuff. You know what I mean? It's just the idea that they're not getting anything to. Now, did you like The Day the Earth Blew Up? Did you like it or no? You saw it. Did you like it?
It was okay. It was fun for a kids movie. I think they missed a lot of opportunities to
Well, yeah, because
have
Bugs,
cameos and guests.
right?
Not even just Bugs though. Like they could have. I felt like they could have put in a few
From what I've
Animaniacs
heard,
here
and
there.
again, I haven't seen it yet. What I've heard though is that they basically, the way it was explained to me about this movie is that it's basically as if Porky Pig and Daffy kind of like stumble onto something, and it becomes like a big, long, extended them. Like they're focused on them and Petunia, right? And so I'm a little bit. I can't wait to see it. But I'm super excited that Ketchup Entertainment is trying to buy Coyote versus Act. Now, another thing that came out today. Another thing that came out today is, Jerry, do you remember way back when we discussed the idea of a show called Crystal Lake?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I saw your post about it too.
yeah. So they are going ahead with Crystal Lake at Peacock. It was originally attached with Brian Fuller, Brian Fuller is the guy that did the excellent Hannibal television show with Mads Mikkelsen. The Peacock is doing it. A24 is now handling it. And so they went a different way from the Brian Fuller thing. Now it's this guy named Brad Caleb Kane, and he's saying all the right things. He's also the showrunner for Max's It, Welcome to Derry, which is the new It show, the new Pennywise show that's coming out for Max. And basically, he's basically scrapping the entire Fuller idea. And his response, Jerry, let me see how you feel about this. Nothing defined my childhood more than growing up in the golden age of the slasher flick, and nothing's defined the genre more than Friday the 13th. I mean, except for Halloween, right? Cade said upon joining the series, I couldn't be more excited for the opportunity to contribute to a chapter to this iconic franchise, particularly with such fearless partners as Peacock and A24. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Kane is producing with A24 Mark Toberoff, Victor Miller, Robert M. Barsamian, Robert P. Barsamian, and Stuart Manisel. Miller is the original film's screenwriter, and Barsamian, M. Barsamian, is basically the guy that holds the rights to all the franchise. He's a lawyer that's worked with Victor Miller from wherever, and basically they now hold rights to various aspects of the Friday the 13th franchise as determined by that long copyright suit between Miller and Sean Cunningham. So the other guys won. So not Sean Cunningham, who was many people look at and go, that's the guy that did Friday the 13th. He did some of the games. But the actress they picked for Mama Voorhees, for Pamela Voorhees, is a good actress. I like her very much. She's been in a lot of stuff. And her name is Linda Cardellini. That's not a good picture of her. But she was in, she's in Scooby-Doo. She's been in a lot of good stuff recently.
But what's it about, right?
That's
the big thing.
That's the question, right?
It's like, what can it be about other than her going crazy somehow?
I heard a synopsis that is Cardellini plays Pamela, a woman, a singer-songwriter who has to give up her career to care for a special needs child who gets killed at a summer camp. And I'm like,
so it's like Maxine, or what's
I don't know. I don't know. This is one of those things where like it's not like Bates Motel is an algorithm that works, right? It's a show that works because they basically set up a really great relationship between a young Norman Bates and his mother. And my idea is that everybody and their parents now think that they can make a prequel show because somebody made a prequel to Psycho.
So is this labeled as a horror or a drama? Right?
I don't know, Jerry. And that's why I'm asking you.
Because it would start as a drama, right? And then obviously it ends up horrible.
It has to end with her.
Well, she snaps, right?
Kills
obviously, so.
Right, but like, I just don't know. I like, it's one of those things where I look at it and I go, it's not like, and again, for me now, the thing that made it plausibly interesting, Brian Fuller, who made a really great Hannibal show, one of the best adaptations of that character, right? And other characters in that universe, right? Made really good adaptation there. He's not attached anymore. So now it's just this guy who is saying the right things. But again, part of me, like, I'll give you the thing where I was excited for a moment and then my heart sunk. It's like nothing's defined the genre more than Friday the 13th. I love slashers, Jerry. I love slashers.
Same.
I love Friday the 13th. And but that's not my genre divine. He's one of the best slashers, right? I mean, but the genre defining slasher is Michael. You know what I mean? Like Michael, it's the big three. Whatever way you want to look at it, it's the big three: Michael, Freddy, Jason. Right, the big three. But I don't. I just don't think Friday the 13th is a sustainable. They're not as good as. I don't think they're as good as the Halloween movies, and I don't think they're as good as Nightmare on Elm Street. We did a rewatch of Nightmare on Elm Street for Halloween this year.
Well, it depends. I mean, some of them are. Like my heart's with Friday the 13th in a lot of ways, but a prequel
where Jason's not involved. How do we rectify a situation where the most iconic part of your slasher?
I mean, the only saving grace to it is that she does very well at slowly slipping into madness.
Slow burn. Well, she's a good actor.
Yeah, I mean, that's really because it has to happen, right? If that doesn't happen, then what's the point?
What is the point of the show?
But it has to be that. It has to. There's no other way around it. I mean, if it's anything other than that, then what's the point of watching?
It's not out yet. It's not out yet. Messy. It just got confirmed that it's going forward at Peacock and A24. A24, by the way, apparently has the rights to Friday the 13th now because they're working on this show. Which would be a big get for A24 because usually, I'm going to be honest, Friday the 13th final chapter is not with the psychic girl. Stop. Friday the 13th part 7, the new blood, is the psychic girl.
The final chapter was great.
The final chapter is the best of the
franchise. As long as it's not the freaking.
What's up?
As long as it's not the one Halloween with that stupid song playing throughout the whole damn movie. What was it, the third one?
What are you talking about? That's one of the greatest. 3 More Days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock?
Oh.
You're making fun of Silver Shamrock?
That's Halloween 3. That's a good movie, though.
That's a great movie. It's underrated. Halloween 3 is underrated. Anyway.
Silver Shamrock.
3 More Days to Halloween. Halloween. 3 More Days to Halloween.
Oh my God. Please let that be the clip of the week right there. Let that be the clip of the week right there.
Could be the clip.
JW just singing that.
I am a big fan of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I think it gets.
It's almost time, kids.
It's almost time, kiddies. Get your mask and sit in front of the television. Black Box is literally our childhood in a movie in the worst possible way. And if they're able to do it, such common kidnaps, they may be able to do pretty cool job. I don't know. My big concern is, except for the slow burn, there's really I don't want to see Jason dying. Does that make sense? Is that something that's gonna, well, I have no interest. I have no interest in watching a special needs child drown. But for it to be successful, it has to happen, right? Well, it has to happen, but how graphic.
I don't think he needs to be.
Not that you want to see it, but it has to happen for her to go crazy.
I know it has
She's probably already crazy, though, right? I mean, there's got to be elements in the show where she's showing nuttiness, I think, and then that's it. As soon as that happens, bam, she snaps. You know.
Oh, no. See, you could drag this on for. You could drag this on for seasons with him just growing up and not listening and doing the opposite of what she says and getting into minor trouble all throughout.
But that's not the story of Jason, though, really.
That's not Bates Motel. That's Bates Motel. That's what I'm saying. I think somebody watched Bates Motel, which is a good show. It's a great show. Vera Farmiga is great. Yeah. It's a good show. Somebody watched Bates Motel and said, "Let's do it with Jason." And best slasher movie, Student Bodies.
But he has to die young. He has to.
Yeah, well, he would end
up
I
mean, they could take it
but...
in a different universe, I guess. But then it's
no, I don't. We're not looking at broadly, Missy. It's not. It's the death was an unexpected accident. That's always been his backstory. Is
Yeah.
that they weren't watching him.
They weren't paying attention to
They
him.
weren't necessarily having sex. That's not part
Oh,
of the actual.
but what I'm saying is, the whole series leading up to him dying in the lake has to be him doing exactly the opposite of what everyone's been told, and then his mother, to cope with it, has to blame someone else because she can't be to blame because she told him the right things to do all those times, and she blames the. Yeah, but that's the whole series right there.
No, that would ruin Friday the 13th, though. Two things, and Jerry, you agree with me on this one, and this is me putting on my nerdy Friday the 13th thing. Jason doesn't disobey his mother. That is akin to everything against. That would be against the entire franchise.
But that would be her disillusional point of it, that he wouldn't disobey his mother, even though his whole growing up is he did the exact opposite. But she made this whole story up that he is that good little boy for her to deal with the fact.
I think you're doing more thinking than they're doing. But first off, I think you're doing more thinking than they're doing. Secondly, that whole concept of Jason not listening, that does not work.
Yeah, because he listens to her
no matter what,
hypothetically, right? And especially in 2 when like Ginny dresses up like her. Like,
yeah, he's just
because he's dead now, and he's like, fuck, if I would have listened to my mother, I'd be alive still. Guess I better start doing it now.
No, we can't. No, that.
Well, yeah, but he's not that
I hope
developed.
they don't listen to you. That would ruin Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I think so too.
That would ruin the entire franchise. This would be akin for horror movie fans. This would be like the prequels to Star Wars fans. It would be.
I see it more as he's like,
just shut up and enjoy the pod race.
He gets picked on because he's different, and she's an advocate for him, and he's at the camp, and stuff happens, and she's already nutty to begin with, and then once he dies, that's it. She just loses it, you know.
And how quick is it going to be?
One episode.
I don't.
It already happened. That's why, right?
I think, like, if you're okay, I'll give you an example, Jerry. If you're telling me you're going to build a prequel show around Nightmare on Elm Street, you can do a whole prequel show.
You can, right? Because he has a major backstory.
He has a major backstory. Jason's backstory is
he's a little kid,
disabled child.
Yeah,
drowns. That's it. That's the list.
Yeah,
that's the whole list.
Yeah, there is no backstory. You have to figure it out, right? You got to make it up.
When he comes back through the sheer will of revenge. Right? He comes back to revenge his mom. He comes back. She, revenges him first. Then she gets killed, and he comes back to revenge her.
Yep.
And he only listens to his mother. If they were to build a show where Jason doesn't listen to his mom, I swear to fucking God, Kyle, if you put that out in the fucking universe and they do that, I will be so angry with you.
Oh, wait. Well, are you going to say that you hate me?
It wouldn't be with him, though. It would be with them because they were stupid enough to do it, right?
Kyle put it out in the universe. We were having basic concepts of what the show is going to be, Jerry. And Kyle was like, well, what if Jason doesn't listen to his mom? Motherfucker.
Holy shit. Jesus. An alternative viewpoint that's not yours, JW? Can you handle it?
It's not just not mine. Ask Jerry if Jerry thinks that's a good idea.
He can't even get a laptop to work. You want me to get his opinion on this?
Laptop from 2004.
Just so we're clear, of all the things you can ask Jerry about, horror movies is at the top of the fucking list.
Well, especially Friday the 13th, too.
Again,
I mean, that holds a special place for me.
I don't know that they're fun. They were great Friday nights out.
Yeah.
Watching stupid people get murdered. It was great. I enjoyed it. Let's talk a little bit about Daredevil. We're careening towards the inevitable conversation between Daredevil and this guy here. Mr. Fisk. Great episode. All the episodes are good. They're solid. They're well written.
I'm not caught up.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well we won't talk too much about that. Jerry, give me a movie. Any movie. I know you're having computer troubles. What do you got?
Well, I picked Wolfen.
Wolfen's a great movie. 1981, I believe.
Yep.
I believe
I
it's
would have sent it to you sooner, but
That's okay. That's okay. I understand. Albert Finney, it is a fantastic werewolf movie. Although not necessarily.
they're basically aliens.
Yeah, it's a stylized werewolf movie. But they're wolves and it's fun. And
And their eyes glow.
Albert Finney is great. Like it's a really good performance, and it's one of those movies though where you like look at it and you go, some of these movies that get made in the 80s are absolutely like it's basically it's from 1981. It didn't do great at the box office, but it was well under its budget, or well over its budget. It didn't do well. But basically, it's Albert Finney, Edward James Olmos, Gregory Hines, Tom Noonan, who you might recognize from other movies, specifically Manhunter and RoboCop 3. It was released by Orion Pictures, and it was released on July 24th, 1981. Yep. It was released, and this is where it gets wild.
I had the Warner version.
Yes, the Warner version, but it was released by Orion. But here's where it gets fun, kids. It was released in theaters in 1981. It grossed $10 million. Do you know why it only grossed $10 million in 1981 in theaters? It was released a mere 3 months after The Howling opened. Good fucking luck.
Right?
Good fucking luck being another werewolf movie.
And it doesn't compare.
In 1981. Also, it's around the same time as American Werewolf in London. So it's like you're talking about 1981. I think 81 is like the gold standard of werewolf movies.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, 81. You
could take a trip to New Jersey, Bedminster, New Jersey. Look at that. That's where this video came from.
So wait a second. 81 had
Bedminster, New Jersey.
Wait a second. It had Wolfen. It had American Werewolf in London, and The Howling. And hold on.
Yeah, you can't compete with that.
Yeah, it's just really hard. It's a cute movie. It's adorable. It's just, but here's where it gets really fun. When you do the comparison of box office, American Werewolf in London, right? Hold on. I'm looking it up right now. American Werewolf in London did in 1981 domestic gross, actually worldwide gross, $61 million, adjusted 130. So that movie ate up all the fucking oxygen. The Howling didn't do that great.
One of them.
The Howling only did 20 million. But the Howling's budget was $150,000.
And it's still better than anything made today, basically. The effects, right?
I just want to give you a piece of my mind. Holy fuck. You remember that sequence? Just so we're clear,
yes.
If you haven't seen The Howling, we've turned this into a Howling thing, but if you haven't seen The Howling, there's a sequence where D. Wallace Stone goes to meet a serial killer, and he's a wolf, and nobody knows he's a wolf. He's just kind of ripping people up and whatever. And he basically, as he's becoming a werewolf, he kind of rips out a piece of his brain and he flicks it at her and says, I just want to give you a piece of my mind, because she's doing a reporting on his serial killing. The Howling is a tremendous movie. The Wolfen is good. Wolfen's fine, but 81's like, it's like a fucking,
yeah.
That is a fucking crazy time to be a werewolf movie. holy shit. Like, think about Wolfen. Wolfen's like, oh, we should be okay. Everybody likes werewolf movies.
Sure.
And then American
And then
Werewolf.
after that, nobody ever heard of Wolfen
Yeah. Well,
except for us.
when you have two of the gold standards, that's a real hard. It's fun. It's a fun movie. There's a wolf vision in it, right? There's a cool like aesthetic.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, that's cool. It's interesting.
You're seeing through their eyes and stuff.
Yeah, and like Albert Finney is great. It's a fun little movie, but it's 81 is like Jesus. Holy shit. That's something that should be talked about. 81, the year we discovered werewolves again.
Year of the lichen.
And then that of course it came from Jerry's basement. We're glad Jerry's coming from his basement tonight. We almost didn't get him. Okay. Let's talk. You've crossed over into the Twilight Zone. Okay. I'm going to tell you something, Jerry, I don't normally say on the show. I did not like this episode at all. I was expecting something better, and then it kind of fizzles.
Right.
So opening narration is really long because they have to explain it. This, as the banner already is proclaimed, is Mr. Harvey Honeycutt, an expert on commerce and con jobs, a brash, bright, and larceny-loaded wheeler-dealer who, when the good Lord passed out of conscience, must have gone for a beer and missed out. And these are a couple of other characters in our story. A little old man in a Model A car, but not just any old man and not just any Model A car. There's something very special about the both of them. As a matter of fact, in just a few moments, they'll give Harvey Honeycutt something he's never experienced before. Through the good offices of a little magic, they will unload on Mr. Honeycutt the absolute necessity to tell the truth. Exactly where they come from is conjecture, but as to where they're heading for, this we know because all of them and you are on the threshold of the Twilight Zone. Now, the cool thing, a couple bad things first. This is one of the 6 episodes that was shot on videotape, so it looks junky now in 4K. It looks absolutely terrible. And an attempt to cut costs. By November, they eventually stopped. This is the 14th episode of the second season, 50th episode overall. Premiered January 20th, 1961. And it's this guy, and he's a bad car dealer, and his name's Harvey Honeycutt, and he's okay. Jack Carson's fine. And then he runs into all these characters at the used car shop, and the one he runs into is this old man selling a Model A car, and he also has a couple of young car buyers who are trying to buy cars, and he right from the get-go he's shifty. Right from the get-go, he's a bad person. And, he's trying to sell crappy cars. He's putting the bumper back on a car. He's not allowing them to check under the hood. He's telling them they shouldn't be interested in new cars down the street. He's just awful. And basically, this old man comes up and he's selling the car, and he's like, the guy's like, I would like $25 for it. And he's like, $25? Okay, whatever. And I don't know if he wants to make money off the guy or not. And the old man's like, okay, great. He signs the paperwork. And then he tells him, but the car is haunted. And the car dealer is like, whatever.
Right.
Whatever, you crazy old man. I should have you. That's the Model A car. This is the young couple that he's trying to sell a car to. He's shifty. He's terrible. This is the old man who sells the car. Car's in great condition, by the way. I think if you had a Model A car in that good condition today, it'd be worth a ton of money. And then he basically buys the car, and then he finds himself not being able to lock. And so the rest of the episode is like this weird amalgam of weird things, including my favorite thing of the episode, the only thing worth watching, is that a young Artie Johnson is in the episode. Artie Johnson from Laugh-In and so many great things. Love at First Bite if you're an Artie Johnson fan. But mostly Laugh-In and Rowan and Martin, and but Artie Johnson's in it. And so he has to do all these things. But one of the stupid things in the episode is this guy works for him. Artie Johnson works for him, and he's like, I got the posters you ordered, and they're all like honest. They're like honest car signs, like, undrivable and just ridiculous. And I'm just like, why would you pay for signs? Like, there's pieces of the script that just don't work. And so eventually he runs into a politician, and the politician figures out that, you can't lie about this car. And so the politician doesn't want it, but he says maybe he could sell it to somebody else. Maybe he could sell it to somebody else. And that's where the episode goes batshit insane, right? It goes batshit insane because they basically, at the end of the episode, he sells the car to Nikita Khrushchev and then goes and gets on the phone and tries to reach Jack Kennedy, who just got elected. So this episode airs in 1961, right? And it's John F. Kennedy was sworn into office as the 35th president hours before this episode originally aired. And it's one of the only times during the Twilight Zone episode that a current politician, president, anything was mentioned on an actual episode of Twilight Zone.
Right. Like somebody for real.
Somebody for real. And it was jarring. It was jarring, Jerry. I'm sitting there going, Nikita Khrushchev, what the fuck is going on?
That's a real person.
That's a real fucking person. And I'm like, what is going on? And then Rod Serling wrote this episode, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I can only imagine that he was excited about John Kennedy getting elected, right? And so but he mentions him by name. He eventually sells the car to Nikita Khrushchev, which is ridiculous. It's just a bizarre episode. Closing narration. Couldn't
Put the car up.
Couldn't
I want to see
happen.
that beautiful car again.
The beautiful car? Sure.
Beautiful car. Oh, look at that.
Or it's
beautiful
worth
car.
over $100,000 these days
That's
in mint condition.
so closing narration, as we always do. Couldn't happen, you say. Far-fetched, way out, tilt off center, possible. But the next time you bought an automobile, if it happens to look as if it has just gone through the Battle of the Marne, and the seller is ready to throw in the bargain of one of his arms, be particularly careful in explaining to the boss about your grandmother's funeral when you're actually at Chavez Ravine, watching the Dodgers. And again, another weird real-life thing. It'll be a fact that you are the proud possessor of an instrument of truth, manufactured and distributed by an exclusive dealer in the Twilight Zone. It's an absolute bizarre episode. And there's an actor that plays Khrushchev at the end. Like, it's absolutely a bizarre episode. It's like something ripped from the headlines that doesn't work. And the whole, like, the smarmy car dealer is fine early, but as he realizes he can't lie, it doesn't get interesting. It gets worse. Right? They just do basic stuff. And the scene where it blew it for me was he sends the Artie Johnson smarmy helper out to get signs that tell the truth about the cars. Like, why would you pay for that? Even in the Twilight Zone, why would you pay for that? But the only positive coming out of this, and again, this is a big positive. Next week, Jerry, is episode 15 of season 2. Next week is an episode written by the amazing Richard Matheson. And next week's episode, Jerry, is an episode with Agnes Moorehead called The Invaders.
Oh, all right. I remember this one.
It is one of the absolute top.
It's one where she's in the cabin, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a top 5 fucking episode for everything. For the scenes, for the special effects, for the fucking story. It is a banger. The Invaders next week on Twilight Zone redo.
Redo?
Okay.
Redux?
Redux. Redo? Redux.
Rewatch.
Acid reflux.
Last story. We're talking about original films, right? And they just announced that they're remaking the War of the Roses, which I don't know that anybody was ready for when the original came out, because it's one of the darkest, blackest satire comedies of all time. It's directed by Dan DeVito. It was Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner.
It was a pretty good movie.
It's a really good movie. But again, bleak as fuck. Dark humor. Like sick, dark humor. Like,
I get this half of the house, and you get the other half.
well, like the kind of dark humor where people are feeding their pets to each other. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a dark fucking movie. Anyway, they're remaking it, and the people they're remaking it with, it's releasing from Searchlight on August 29th this year. And it's written by Tom McNamara, who wrote Poor Things and The Great, and it's called The Roses, and it's Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman. So not only are we remaking movies that people love, we're remaking obscure black satire movies from the 80s.
Well, hopefully they keep it
Dark.
somewhat like that, like dark, right? Exactly. Hopefully they keep it like that. Nothing like too.
That movie has a pitch black soul.
It does. It definitely does.
Pitch black, horrible, like just a terrible. It is mean spirited all over the, like, it gets going and it doesn't stop. Jim Carrey did it better. I would agree, but I wouldn't. We didn't talk about this, but Liar Liar is has got to be something that somebody who directed Liar Liar saw this episode of Twilight. It's
no doubt.
It's just that the people involved, the actors involved, are more gifted. Like Carrey, gifted comedian, right? And the guy who plays Honeycutt wasn't great. Like it wasn't like, I wouldn't have minded the guy from the Dust episode if he had played the car dealer. Because I feel if he had come in with that, he just would have been great.
Gotta stop calling him Honeycutt.
Why?
I keep thinking of Honeycutt from MASH.
Okay. Okay.
With Houlihan.
This is a good time to end. I got little ones that are dying to go to bed, maybe, or maybe waiting up to play games with me. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Kyle, what do you got coming up? Anything big?
In May, we got a show in Matamoros at Flagship Cinemas. And then in June, we'll be back at the Emmaus Theater. But I think on May 3rd, I want to go to the V spot for something. Isn't there something on the May 3rd at the V spot, Jerry?
What's going on at the V spot, Jerry?
Yeah, we have a show at the V spot with a couple bands.
The Slapjaw
May 3rd. Streaming everywhere.
And then also we have a April 1st. Is that next week already?
Yes.
Yeah. Next
Holy
Tuesday.
Shit. I'm excited about this. This is the comment you sent me. I'm going to put it up just to have it. But we will have on Jim Hetzer, who is the writer of a book called The Unofficial Rocky Horror Callback Script. It's come forth. I didn't put Nick's. I put Nice. I meant to put Nice. But basically, Jim will be joining us next week. We'll be super excited to have him talk about Rocky Horror, talk about his book, talk about the concept of a movie where you're calling out lines from the audience, how that changes over time, and how it changes depending on, political administrations, where people live. You know what I mean? Like, it all changes based on that. So we'll be having Jim on
He's
next
also the author and creator of the oldest Rocky Horror website, Cosmos Factory. So
we
has
got
all things Rocky Horror and trivia.
Lots to talk about next week. Join us next week. We'll see everybody. New movies this week. The one everybody is talking about is Death of a Unicorn.
An A24 movie.
A24 movie, Death of a Unicorn, Paul Rudd. It looks fantastic. Basically, they hit a unicorn on the side of the road, and then the parents of said unicorn come looking for it. It's supposed to be very gory, lots of fun, satire. We'll see what happens. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody.
A second movie this weekend coming up that you think?
Are you talking about Working Man?
A Working Man, I think, can make a little bit of noise.
Well, Statham is in his Liam Neeson phase. He's just making the same movie over and over again. Does Sweet
So he's going to be a
Translucent?
Jedi.
I told you I was gonna come and get you.
No, I didn't say he was going to be a Jedi. I said he's in a Neeson phase where he's just in these random movies, and whoever runs into either Liam Neeson or Jason Statham usually ends up like, I don't know, tied to a car that gets thrown off a bridge or blown up or shot in the heel or whatever. Yeah, so maybe Working Man does well.
I'm just a beekeeper.
Just a beekeeper. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yes, so Sweet Translucent Dreams does have a Facebook. Take the acronym for Sweet Translucent Dreams, STD, add in some Rocky Horror Picture Show, RHPS, so STD RHPS on your search bar on Facebook, and you'll find us.
It's a lot of fucking acronyms. Jesus. Thank you for joining us tonight. Everybody have a great week. We'll see everybody next week. Good luck. Bye.